Tonight, KCRA3 investigates diversity on the police force. Northern California police tell KCRA3 they are working hard to make sure their force reflects the diversity of the community. But are they really improving? If you get pulled over by a police officer, it is more than likely that person in uniform will be white.
Well, more minorities are applying, but as KCRA3 investigates, Brian Heap found that they aren't necessarily getting hired.
We looked at the 3 largest local departments to see who applied to get into law enforcement academies and who is actually on the street.
Listen up. We're going to do an open ranks.
Sean Angoko,
You're going to march out,
and Taylor Rutledge
right, peace,
are both a couple weeks away from graduating from the American River College's Public Safety Training Center. It's an intense course taken at night and on weekends. For Taylor, becoming a police officer is a family affair.
My father and my uncle are both in law enforcement here locally.
Sean gave up a lucrative job in the tech industry.
I actually had a job lined up for me in the Bay Area with a technology company.
Both say they followed a calling to help their communities.
So I like the aspect of seeing a direct result, being able to have an effect in the community.
Just trying to reach out to maybe some people that have a similar background to myself.
Police department, come on!
But getting more recruits with differing backgrounds may be one of the biggest challenges for police departments across the country.
A lot of times you'll see male whites, and so you figure, well, you know what, maybe that's not something I can do. Well, in actuality, it is something you can do.
Steve Segura is the dean of the American River College Academy and a veteran of the Sacramento Police Department. He says perception is one of the hardest things to overcome when trying to get people of color into law enforcement.
That's why there's such an effort to reach out to the variety of communities to say, you know what, we want to emulate, or at least we want to look like what the communities look like.
In the Constitution of the State of California.
We wanted to know how good a job the 3 biggest departments in our area were doing mirroring their communities. Not just how many officers of color are on the street, but how many get into the academy. So we looked at Sacramento Police, Stockton Police, and the Sacramento Sheriff. At American River College, more than 60% of the recruits are white. That's compared to 13% Hispanic, 10% Asian, and 3% African American. Anyone can enter the academy, and all those who graduate are on a level playing field, but somewhere between the application process and the hiring process, the numbers change. The city of Sacramento is fairly diverse, with whites making up 45% of the population. The city's police department, though, doesn't come close to reflecting that. 3/4 of the department is white.
We've gone through our entire process, from the top of it, from the beginning of it, all the way to the end, to take a look to see, are there impediments that we have within our process that are weeding out people disproportionately.
Summers says the biggest problem is getting people interested in becoming cops, particularly people of color. So the department has started programs to try to get into the community. Stockton police are trying similar tactics, trying to recruit officers within the community. Chief Eric Jones says the city's bankruptcy led to his losing a significant portion of his police force. Many of those officers were Hispanic, Asian, and African American.
So we not only had a lot of our agency be laid off during those very difficult fiscal constraints, we had a lot of officers that were also then leaving to other police departments.
The numbers are slightly better in Stockton. 65% of their force is white.
So we had this departure of mass amounts of experience. And what occurred with that is we lost a lot of our diversity as well. A lot of our diverse officers went to some of these other agencies. They're in high demand.
And the number of recruits for the San Joaquin County Police Academy is higher. More Hispanics and African Americans. But the number of those officers on the force is still low.
The long-term goals here are really to have our own community members become law enforcement officers. That's great for a number of reasons. They know this community, they're from this community.
Of the 3 departments we talked to, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department is the most diverse. Since becoming sheriff 5 years ago, Scott Jones says he's worked on overcoming the negative perception of law enforcement, particularly in minority communities.
I don't think mistrust is the right word, but I'll say attention. between the communities and policing. And that's often because we don't show up in young people's lives to do anything good historically. We show up to say that we're taking their father to jail, that their brother has been killed, whatever it is, it's never good news.
While recruits at the Sacramento Sheriff's Academy are still mostly white, that academy and the department nearly mirror the community. The one area the sheriff lacks in is the number of African Americans.
We not only go to the traditional recruiting fairs at high schools, we've started going to charter schools and some other non-traditional places where there might be a higher presence of African Americans applicants.
Let's go. Ready? The challenges are not much different in this year's class in Sacramento. Taylor Rutledge already has a job when he graduates. Sean Angoko is applying for work, but he doesn't think his race will hold him back.
It may be something just continuing to change, but I haven't really felt like there's been any roadblocks for me. I haven't seen any instances where I would say I wasn't selected for that reason.
All three departments say that there are no short-term solutions to police diversity. All the departments have partnered with local community groups to get more recruits, including with high schools and charter schools. And they have started minority recruiting efforts out of state as well. Back to you.
And Sacramento's Chief Summers adds that he has just started implementing some of these new programs, and he also says if we look at these numbers again in 3 to 5 years, he says we'll see significant improvements, and we plan to do just that.
Now to the